We're here for a great session. This one is Omnichannel is Everything, how retailers can amplify and optimize in-store inventory. And it's our pleasure to be featuring Trina Turk here. Not the person, of course, the brand. And so we're going to watch a short video, and then I'm going to be introducing, or who will come to the stage is Ashley Walker, who's the Digital Marketing and E-commerce Director for Trina Turk, and Mel Luby, so Strategic Partnerships for Amazon Today. So let's watch the video, and then they'll join you.
Introducing Amazon Today, a unique opportunity to showcase your in-store inventory on Amazon. Your customers want fast, convenient delivery and pickup options. And with Amazon Today, you can now offer just that. Same-day delivery or in-store pickup from your retail location in just a few hours. Imagine what Amazon Today could mean for your business. Your products delivered by Amazon directly to your customers' locations the very same day and in your own branded packaging, amplifying brand recognition and engagement. And of course, you can still give your customers the choice of store pickup, increasing foot traffic and the potential for even more sales. Contact us today to learn more. We're here to help you continue delivering smiles to your customers.
Everybody. Good. Well, thank you for joining us on this session about why Omnichannel is everything. As she said, my name is Mel Luby, and I work in strategic partnerships for Amazon Today. Before we get going, I wanted to ask just a few questions to the crowd via a show of hands. First question, who here has searched for a product online at a nearby store prior to going in-store and picking it up? Okay, yeah, 51%. You are, this room looks about right. Studies show that 51% of all shoppers are just like you. They are searching for their favorite products online, then going in-store to pick up those items because we are busy, and when we get there, we want to know that the items we want are there waiting for us. Next question, who here has purchased something from Amazon in the last week? Oh yeah, all right, solid. So 56% of all shoppers begin their purchases on Amazon. So this room skews a little higher. Thank you. Last question. Who here, when you are making your online purchases, looks for same-day delivery as an important factor in that purchase? Okay. 95% actually of all shoppers say same-day delivery is a major purchasing factor when they're purchasing online. 95%. And that's why we are so excited to help partners like Trina Turk scale their omnichannel strategy, introduce new incremental revenue streams, and potentially drive foot traffic to their brick-and-mortar locations, because at the end of the day, we believe that the future of retail is at the intersection between e-commerce and brick and mortar. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Ashley Walker, Director of Digital Marketing and E-commerce at Trina Turk.
Hey, Mel.
Thank you for joining. So Ashley joins us with more than 10 years experience working with brands like Kate Spade, Coach, and Bloomingdale's. So thanks for coming. I appreciate you. So for those in the audience who might not be as familiar with Trina Turk as a brand, could you tell us a little bit more about Trina Turk as your brand and your role there?
Sure. So we consider ourselves the quintessential California brand. We're inspired by the architecture of Palm Springs, vibrant colors, prints. We do a lot of research into retro prints and try to modernize it. So the brand is just supposed to make you optimistic, make you want to have more fun, and you should always find time to sit by the pool if you can.
I love that. And as far as your specific role there, tell us about what your purview is over at Trina Turk.
Sure. So I run all of digital, from acquiring new customers, keeping our loyal customers, finding new revenue streams, just pretty much any touch point of the digital customer experience kind of falls under me. And then, just always looking for new marketing opportunities and just innovative ways to move forward.
Okay, so that leads me to what I'm referring to internally as our meet cute. Can you tell us about how we met? Can you tell them how we met and a little bit more about that experience?
Sure. So we were at a conference together, and it was sort of like a speed dating between a brand and vendors. So sometimes, you hear about the product and you're like, it's not a match. In this case, it was really interesting for me to see an omnichannel opportunity. For me to do this in-house and figure out shipping options could potentially take me a year, maybe even 2 years to change the whole supply chain operation. So it was really cool to meet with Mel and be like, hey, would this actually be easy? Can I actually do this soon? And it all just worked out.
It was, and in addition to being really impressed with your retail strategy, which we'll touch on in a moment, I remember being wildly impressed that your dress matched my Amazon Today water bottle. And so I felt it was very much kismet, in addition to your desire to seek out these new omnichannel opportunities. I was like, oh, we will be friends because I loved her print and that you matched my water bottle. So
when it works, it works.
When it works, it works. It's totally true. So along those lines, I'd love to hear you speak more about your current retail strategy.
Yeah. So historically, we were more in the wholesale side. During COVID, we actually became a D2C brand. So sort of sprung up a website and said, hey, let's go after this. But really, since then, we've built up a huge e-com business, really a thriving brand now. But what we're trying to do is always find different avenues to sell. So it's not just about our website, it's not just about social media, it's kind of finding all of these other opportunities to kind of say, hey, wherever you're shopping, let's have Trina there and just have more exposure for people to learn about the brand.
Absolutely. And I know that there's not much you can say about this, but I'm wondering if you might be able to tease some of the other things that might be happening from a pop-up perspective.
I will give a wink, but yes. So we're looking to do some pop-ups, some luxury hotels, a lot of different areas to do customer testing. So for me, we don't just want to launch another brick and mortar location, pay a lease on something and say, hey, we're really investing in this. For us, we want to see, hey, where are our customers? Will we get traction here? So what's really interesting is that we could set up a pop-up location, partner with Amazon Today and say, hey, if you want to come to the store, pop-up, whatever, check it out. Or we can ship your goods if you're local in the area. That's very interesting, and it's just really good for us to do location testing as well.
I feel like that'll be something for us to be reporting back on next year. I'm really excited about that. And given the fact that your tech stack will be the same for your pop-ups as well as your regular retail stores, I think there's going to be some really fun discovery there. And I think the question that I think a lot of people have when we're having discussions about omnichannel is is it in the roadmap? Was it not in the roadmap? So for you at Trina Turk, was omnichannel always part of your 2023 plans? And if not, how did you prioritize a program like Amazon Today?
Sure. Yeah. So for me, we always care about omnichannel. I'm in the digital world. But for me, I looked a lot of customer feedback, and we saw shipping, getting products fast, consistently over and over again were a lot of the comments that we would see. And so we know the product was there, we have that going, but people just want it faster. So it became part of my digital strategy after us meeting, of course. I think customers needing product, it being immediate, is really of top concern. And some of the dresses we sell are pricier, so being a little impulsive doesn't hurt at times.
No, I firmly agree. And as someone who did some impulsive shopping on Trina Turk prior to this conference, I can speak to that being a thing. And with that said, knowing that this hadn't been part of the strategy, but it was a need, it sounds like you were doing a lot of customer listening, that being very customer obsessed, if you will. What hurdles did you face once you decided, okay, this is something that I know I want to solve for, this is a solution that we might be able to present to our customers? What were those internal discussions like?
Sure. So I have a relatively lean team. So the number one question, and I'm sure everyone in this room would say it, is, okay, it's a great idea, but who's going to do it? And so part of my role was like, I will parlay kind of being digital, but also thinking about stores, the wholesale business, how we're all going to operate. So I sort of stepped outside of my role, but I did see it as just part of the overall digital experience. And again, I'm there for the customer first. So whichever way we're going to get there, we're all on the same path.
And so did you find like there was you were basically, if I could rephrase, it was like, this is what we want to do. I know that we need to do this and I will help champion this, even though it was a little outside of your realm.
Exactly. I said, I will spearhead this. We will come up with a list. It will require other teams to get together, of course, but it was just important that I saw a vision for something and I just wanted us to run with it.
Yeah, and you took ownership of it, which I think is really cool. And so now that we've talked about like what it was like to pitch this internally, what the program was, let's talk about the nuts and bolts of an integration like this. What stakeholder teams will you need to be involved with in order to launch a program? Because obviously we're not just touching the marketplace strategy, we're also touching retail strategy.
So, I mean, it touches throughout the company. So thinking about our fulfillment teams, merchandising, tech, and then for me to market it all at the end of the day. What was really alluring to me about the relationship was that it is an integration. And so I don't need to have a whole other team kind of showing up and hiring a bunch of people and saying, let's do this. It was just nice to actually have a partner that I knew would back us and kind of give us the resources, and we can kind of quickly get something running and make it happen.
Absolutely, and I think given the fact of your particular OMS, IMS, there are ways that we've been able to streamline that integration even further for you, but since everything is API-based, either way, we would have partnered with you on this and partnered you with solutions architects and partner success to help you figure that out, because what I know was really important to me for this partnership was to make sure that teams that can often be siloed are working together in a way, e-com with retail, et cetera.
And I think it actually helped us internally remember we all have the same vision. We just sort of see our job every day, and it's like, hey, we all need to just kind of make this happen right now. Let's do it. So that's also been really good.
I love that. And I think that that's something that probably more companies can take. Like we get stuck in our lanes, and to remember that we are all part of working towards the same vision, the same goal, which is to keep the company profitable and innovate, right? So I think the question that I think is on a lot of people's minds is, what does success look like for a partnership like this for you? What is the North Star of our partnership?
I would be lying if I said that I didn't want to make money. Of course, showing positive revenue in my organization would be important. But besides that, I think that sometimes you have to spend a little bit of money to make some money. And I think in this case, I was listening to what our customers are saying. I'm thinking about the timeliness. I also put myself in a customer's shoes. I know if I'm going to an event, maybe I need a new dress because I was wearing it on Instagram 2 weeks ago. So part of me is thinking, how can I get this quickly? And our customers feel the same. So I think in this case, just doing all of the things, like making it easy, but thinking about customers always.
Absolutely, and having your eyes on what trends are. Like we know that buy online, pick up in store, I think is supposed to grow by 70% in the next 3 years, and same day delivery by 80. I mean, knowing that like you're marching towards that is really important as well. And this is more of a fun question, but any predictions as far as what the best sellers of a program like this would be? Because obviously, we are tapping into in-store inventory for a program like this versus maybe what you would traditionally sell wholesale. So would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I actually use this as like a testing ground to see where our products go and if our clients are going to change or we just have totally different people tapping in. I would say we're well known for swimwear. So I think if you're going on a trip last minute, people are like, oh God, I don't look good in this bathing suit. Let me order something. Or I don't have a cover up. I need all of these things. So I think we want to tap into that audience, but we also want to test some products. Like obviously we have some funky prints.
Maybe.
And I'm interested to see like, hey, it is a little bit more one of a kind than some other products you see. So maybe we'll see how new collections go and kind of use it as our way to curate a collection that on our website, we just offer everything. So
I love that, and the seasonality aspect too. You know, some of those items that might be more traditionally held back from a wholesale relationship, being able to tap into the in-store side of that, I think is going to be really fun to keep our tabs on. And I know we're doing really well on time, so just one last question for you. Given the fact that this is something that you were passionate about and you took on kind of outside of your realm, what advice would you have for folks that are in the audience that might be thinking like, oh, I'm really interested in omnichannel, but I don't know how to push it through, or what advice would you give folks like that?
my best advice is to just go for it. I think, if you put too much thought into, well, this isn't my job, or I don't know if this is going to work, I don't have a lot of data on it, I think you're missing a revenue opportunity. In this case, the integration is easy, partnering is easy. So see where your customers are, how it's driving everything. But all about a relationship is, this would have taken me so long to do it internally. And so I'm just grateful to be able to latch on and take the reins with this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And so with that, we are good to go. Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited for our partnership. Thank you all for listening today. Our information is up there, and we'll stick around with questions.